Imagine this. The moment you stop shrinking yourself to fit someone else's ego, that's when your true power explodes. It's not about getting back at them, it's about rising so high, thriving so fiercely, that their pride can't help but shatter. What if your glow-up wasn't for anyone else, but to prove to yourself that you will never settle for less again? Today, I'm going to show you how to ignite that unstoppable transformation, one that breaks egos and builds unbreakable confidence. A true glow-up is rooted in self-worth, not revenge. This idea is fundamental because many people misunderstand what a glow-up really means. It's often portrayed as a dramatic transformation aimed at getting back at someone who hurt you or proving your worth to others. But the essence of a genuine glow-up goes far beyond appearances or external validation. It starts from within, with a deep recognition of your own value that no one else can diminish or take away. When your glow-up is based on self-worth, it is a powerful, lasting change that reflects how you see and treat yourself rather than how you want others to see you. When you glow up for revenge, the motivation is external. You want to make someone jealous, to show them what they lost, or to prove that you can do better without them. While this might feel satisfying for a moment, it is fragile and dependent on someone else's reaction. If they don't notice or don't care, that glow-up loses its meaning and power. It becomes about them again, which puts your happiness and growth outside of your control. This is why a glow-up fueled by revenge often feels hollow or temporary. It's built on the shaky ground of other people's opinions rather than your own internal truth. Self-worth, on the other hand, is a foundation that no one can shake. When you base your transformation on self-love and respect, you are not seeking permission or approval from anyone else. You are saying to yourself, I am enough, and living in a way that honors that belief. This kind of glow-up is about investing in your emotional, mental, and physical well-being because you deserve it, not because you want to send a message to someone else. It's about creating a life that makes you proud and happy, regardless of what others think or say. When you approach growth this way, it becomes sustainable and empowering. Another important aspect of a self-worth-based glow-up is the shift in mindset it brings. Instead of focusing on what others did to hurt you, you begin to focus on healing yourself. You reclaim your power by setting healthy boundaries, practicing self-care, and cultivating habits that nourish your soul. You learn to appreciate your strengths and forgive your imperfections. This shift in perspective changes how you interact with the world. You start attracting positivity and opportunities that align with your true value, rather than clinging to relationships or situations that diminish you. Moreover, a glow-up rooted in self-worth helps you become emotionally independent. You no longer rely on external validation to feel good about yourself. You find joy in your own achievements, growth, and inner peace. This independence is what truly breaks egos, because it shows that your happiness does not depend on anyone else. It's a form of strength that cannot be controlled or manipulated, and it radiates confidence and authenticity. When you grow from a place of genuine self-worth, the changes you make ripple out into every part of your life. Your relationships improve because you no longer tolerate disrespect or neglect. Your career benefits because you pursue your passions and set ambitious goals. Your mental health flourishes as you practice kindness toward yourself and cultivate resilience. All of this growth is deeply satisfying because it comes from a sincere place within you, not from a desire to prove something to someone else. In essence, a true glow-up is an act of self-respect and self-empowerment. It is the process of becoming the best version of yourself for your own sake. When your glow-up is rooted in self-worth, it is unshakable, unapologetic, and inspiring. It sends a clear message, not to others, but to yourself, that you matter. You are capable, and you are worthy of everything you dream of. That kind of glow-up cannot be undone because it lives inside you, long after anyone else's opinion fades away. Emotional independence is the real flex because it signifies a level of maturity and self-mastery that many strive for but few truly achieve. It means having the ability to regulate your own feelings, to maintain your sense of self-worth, and to navigate life's ups and downs without relying on others for validation or approval. In a world where relationships often blur boundaries and where social media can create constant pressure to seek external affirmation, emotional independence stands out as a powerful marker of inner strength. It's not about shutting people out or becoming cold. Rather, it's about developing a healthy relationship with your own emotions so that your happiness and peace do not depend on anyone else's actions or opinions. When you possess emotional independence, you are no longer at the mercy of others' moods or judgments, and that is a freedom that cannot be overstated. To be emotionally independent means that you have cultivated the ability to respond thoughtfully to your feelings instead of reacting impulsively. It requires self-awareness, the skill to recognize what you are feeling and why, followed by emotional regulation, the ability to manage those feelings constructively. For example, when faced with rejection or criticism, an emotionally independent person acknowledges the hurt but doesn't let it define their self-worth or dictate their behavior. They understand that their value comes from within and not from external circumstances. This ability to separate your sense of identity from other people's treatment of you is what makes emotional independence such a significant flex. It allows you to maintain your confidence and composure even in difficult situations, which in turn attracts respect and admiration from others. Moreover, emotional independence fosters healthier relationships. When you are not emotionally dependent, you do not cling to people out of fear or insecurity. Instead, you engage with others from a place of choice and genuine connection rather than neediness or desperation. This changes the dynamic of relationships, making them more balanced and fulfilling. You can set clear boundaries without guilt because you understand your own needs and limits. You also become less likely to tolerate toxic behavior or manipulation because you don't fear losing someone or being alone. Emotional independence empowers you to walk away from anything that undermines your well-being, which in itself is a powerful statement. In addition to improving relationships, emotional independence helps protect your mental and emotional health. When you rely less on others for happiness, you reduce the risk of feeling devastated by breakups, conflicts, or misunderstandings. You develop resilience, the ability to bounce back quickly from setbacks because your foundation is solid. This resilience is what enables you to keep growing, learning, and moving forward even when life throws challenges your way. You become your own source of comfort and encouragement, rather than expecting someone else to fill that role. That level of self-sufficiency is not only liberating but also deeply fulfilling. Finally, emotional independence is a form of self-respect and empowerment. It means you honor your feelings, take responsibility for your emotional well-being, and refuse to let external circumstances dictate your happiness. When you cultivate this independence, you demonstrate to yourself and the world that you are whole and complete on your own. This kind of inner strength is magnetic. It inspires others and sets a high standard for how you allow yourself to be treated. The real flex is not just in showing up looking your best, but in showing up emotionally balanced and self-assured. Emotional independence is the key to living authentically and confidently, and it is the foundation for a truly empowered life. Your transformation should make the past version of you proud, because true growth is measured not only by where you end up, but by how you honor where you started. When you look back at who you were, the struggles you faced, the mistakes you made, the fears that held you back, it's important to recognize that those experiences were part of your journey, not something to erase or regret. Instead of distancing yourself from that past self, your transformation should be an evolution that acknowledges all those moments as necessary steps toward becoming the person you are meant to be. This means your growth is rooted in compassion, patience, and respect for your own process. When you strive to make your past self proud, you create a powerful connection between who you were and who you are becoming, building a sense of continuity and integrity that fuels ongoing progress. Making your past self proud requires a shift in perspective about mistakes and setbacks. Often, we view our earlier selves through a lens of harsh judgment or disappointment, focusing on what we wish we had done differently. But growth is not about perfection, it's about learning. When you embrace your history as a series of lessons, you transform regret into gratitude. Each moment of vulnerability or failure becomes evidence of your courage to try and your capacity to improve. Your transformation then becomes a tribute to your resilience, a sign that you honored your past efforts by continuing to push forward. When you carry this mindset, the challenges of your past lose their power to shame you and instead become milestones that make your present achievements all the more meaningful. Another important aspect of making your past self proud is recognizing the small wins and incremental progress along the way. Transformation rarely happens overnight. It is a gradual process that unfolds through consistent effort, sometimes in ways that aren't immediately visible. When you celebrate the small steps, whether it's setting healthy boundaries, learning to forgive yourself, or developing new skills, you reinforce your commitment to growth. These daily victories add up and serve as reminders that your transformation is authentic and sustainable. By valuing this ongoing journey, you honor the part of you that kept going even when the path was difficult. And this acknowledgement creates a foundation of self-appreciation that propels you forward. Your transformation should also be about reclaiming your power and rewriting your story in a way that respects your journey. The past version of you may have felt powerless, stuck, or uncertain. By evolving with intention and self-awareness, you demonstrate that you refuse to be defined by those limitations. You show that despite the hardships, you chose to rise and rewrite the narrative of your life. This act of reclamation is deeply empowering, as it affirms that your worth is not tied to past circumstances, but to your current choices and future possibilities. When you reflect on your growth through this lens, you create a sense of pride that is rooted not in comparison to others, but in the courage you displayed to keep moving forward. Ultimately, making your past self proud is a way to build a lifelong relationship with yourself that is grounded in kindness and respect. It encourages you to look back with gratitude and look ahead with hope. Your transformation becomes a living testament to your strength, resilience, and capacity for change. It reminds you that growth is not a destination but a continuous journey, a journey that you are fully committed to honoring every step of the way. When your transformation makes your past self proud, it means you are growing with authenticity, embracing your whole story, and becoming the best version of yourself for the right reasons. His ego breaks not because you left, but because you thrived after leaving. This distinction is crucial in understanding the true power of your growth and the impact it has on those who underestimated you. Leaving a relationship or situation that no longer serves you is a courageous step, but it is often just the beginning of a much deeper transformation. The act of leaving might cause some initial shock or regret, but what truly disrupts and unsettles someone's ego is witnessing how you flourish in their absence. When you thrive after leaving, you show that your worth was never tied to their presence, and that your life is not diminished but enriched by stepping away from what held you back. This kind of growth shatters the illusions they had about you and about their own influence over your happiness. Thriving after leaving means embracing your potential fully and unapologetically. It means channeling your energy into self-improvement, pursuing your passions, and building a life that reflects your values and desires. This transformation is visible in many ways. Your confidence grows, your goals become clearer, and your sense of purpose strengthens. When someone who once tried to diminish you sees you thriving, it challenges their narrative. They realize that you were not dependent on them, and that their absence created space for you to become even better. This realization can bruise their ego because it contradicts the control or power they believed they had. It is a reminder that your life is yours to shape, and no one else has the final say in your happiness or success. Moreover, thriving after leaving sends a powerful message of resilience and self-respect. It communicates that you value yourself enough to walk away from toxicity, and you believe in your ability to create a fulfilling life on your own terms. This level of self-determination can be intimidating to someone who counted on your compliance or insecurity to maintain their sense of superiority. Your success becomes a form of silent but undeniable proof that they underestimated you. It is a triumph that doesn't require confrontation or explanation. Your growth speaks for itself. Strength you display by thriving independently is often the most effective response to any hurt or disappointment they caused. It is also important to recognize that thriving after leaving is not about making someone jealous or seeking revenge. Those motivations often lead to temporary satisfaction, but rarely to genuine fulfillment. Thriving is rooted in self-love and authentic growth. It's about becoming the best version of yourself because you deserve to live fully and joyfully, not to provoke a reaction from others. This mindset frees you from the trap of needing validation and allows your success to be sustainable and deeply satisfying. When your glow-up comes from a place of true self-worth, it holds a power that is impossible to ignore or diminish. The breaking of someone's ego in this context is less about their loss and more about your victory. It's a byproduct of your decision to prioritize yourself, your healing, and your future. It reminds them that the person they thought they controlled or defined is now thriving independently, stronger and more confident than ever. This shift in power dynamics often causes discomfort or regret on their part, but it is a testament to your strength and growth. Ultimately, the fact that your success causes their ego to break highlights how far you have come, not because of what you left behind, but because of who you have become after. You don't evolve to win someone back, you evolve so you never tolerate less again. This ideal challenges the common misconception that personal growth after a painful experience or breakup is about trying to reclaim a lost relationship or prove something to someone else. True evolution is not about chasing approval or validation from a person who once failed to recognize your worth. Instead, it is about raising your standards and refusing to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve moving forward. When you grow with this mindset, your transformation becomes an act of self-respect and empowerment, rooted in your own needs and values rather than in someone else's opinions or acceptance. Evolving to win someone back often traps you in a cycle of hoping for change from the other person, which is unpredictable and largely out of your control. This can lead to frustration, disappointment, and repeated heartbreak because it places your happiness in their hands. Growth motivated by this kind of external validation tends to be fragile and conditional. It depends on someone else's willingness to acknowledge your worth and reciprocate your feelings. When the goal of your evolution is to regain approval, you may unintentionally compromise parts of yourself to fit the expectations or desires of another, rather than truly honoring who you are. This approach rarely leads to genuine fulfillment because it's not rooted in authentic self-love or boundaries. On the other hand, evolving so that you never tolerate less again means setting new, non-negotiable standards for how you allow others to treat you and how you treat yourself. It's a powerful commitment to recognizing your own value and refusing to accept anything that diminishes your self-esteem or well-being. This kind of growth demands deep self-reflection and honesty about what you need to feel respected, loved, and secure. It means learning from past experiences, not to punish yourself or others, but to clarify what is healthy and unacceptable. When you take this approach, your evolution is driven by your desire to protect your heart and preserve your dignity, not by a wish to rekindle old flames. This mindset also empowers you to cultivate stronger boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship because they communicate your limits and protect your emotional health. When you evolve with the intention of never tolerating less, you become more assertive and clear about what you will and won't accept. You learn to say no to disrespect, neglect, or manipulation without guilt or fear. This not only safeguards you from future hurt, but also attracts healthier connections, because people respond to the energy of someone who knows their worth and expects to be treated accordingly. Furthermore, evolving in this way fosters greater self-love and confidence. It encourages you to prioritize your happiness and well-being independently of anyone else's approval. You become more attuned to your own feelings and desires, and you stop seeking fulfillment solely through others. This internal shift creates a stable foundation for growth that isn't shaken by external circumstances. You become the person who can walk away from anything that no longer serves you because you believe in your ability to create a better life on your own terms. Ultimately, evolving so you never tolerate less again is about reclaiming your power. It's a transformative process that frees you from patterns of dependency, lowers your chances of repeating unhealthy cycles, and opens the door to relationships that honor and uplift you. Your evolution is no longer about winning someone back, it's about winning yourself over again and again, with the knowledge that you deserve nothing but the best. The right people will be drawn to your healed, whole energy because when you take the time to heal and become complete within yourself, you naturally radiate a sense of confidence and peace that is magnetic. Healing isn't just about recovering from pain or past wounds, it's about integrating those experiences and emerging stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. When you carry this energy, it resonates with those who are aligned with your values and who appreciate you for who you truly are, rather than who you used to be or who you are trying to be for them. This authenticity attracts genuine connections, people who want to support your growth, celebrate your successes, and share in your joy without conditions or expectations. When you are healed and whole, you no longer seek validation or approval from others because you have developed a solid relationship with yourself. This self-acceptance and inner harmony create a calm, centered energy that draws people in. It's not about being perfect, but about being real and vulnerable in a way that is both inspiring and relatable. The right people can sense when someone is genuine, and they are naturally pulled toward that honesty and openness. This creates a foundation for meaningful relationships built on trust and mutual respect rather than insecurity or codependency. Moreover, your healed energy signals to others that you have done the work necessary to understand your boundaries and needs. This clarity helps you attract people who respect those boundaries and treat you accordingly. You become less likely to tolerate toxic or draining relationships because your energy no longer supports that dynamic. Instead, you attract individuals who are emotionally mature and willing to engage in healthy, balanced interactions. These relationships are nourishing and uplifting, allowing both parties to grow and thrive together. The right people value your growth and see it as a sign of strength, rather than something to be intimidated by or fearful of. Your whole energy also encourages a positive cycle of reciprocity. When you bring your best self into your relationships, you inspire others to do the same. Your healed presence can be a catalyst for others to begin their own healing journeys or to deepen their self-awareness. This creates a community of support and empowerment where everyone benefits. The connections you form are not based on superficial attractions, but on shared values and mutual encouragement. This kind of energy exchange is sustaining and fulfilling, fostering long-lasting bonds rather than fleeting interactions. It's important to remember that the right people being drawn to your energy doesn't mean you will attract everyone or that every connection will be perfect. Some people may not be ready to meet you at your level of growth, and that's okay. Healing is an ongoing journey, and part of that journey is learning to release relationships that no longer serve your highest good. By maintaining your whole energy, you naturally create space for those who are meant to be in your life to enter and thrive alongside you. In essence, when you invest in your healing and embrace your wholeness, you become a beacon for the right people. Your energy signals that you are a person who values growth, respect, and authenticity. This makes you not only more attractive, but also more aligned with relationships that truly enrich your life. Right people don't just see your external glow. They feel the strength and integrity behind it, and that is what draws them in.